A brick walkway in Seoul, South Korea was the inspiration. Michael James followed the path to see where it would lead.
The bricks were slightly indented and they'd all formed these puddles after it had rained. And these patterns fascinated me, so I took a lot of pictures of them. And that's often the thing that's the genesis of a series of pieces. I'm just fascinated with these forms right now.
His quilts take shape in a home studio.
It becomes very quickly a dialogue between me and what's happening on the wall. Usually at the outset, I don't have a clear idea of where it might go, but at a certain point, it starts to sort of coalesce. And once it does that, it really starts to speak to me, and there's this back and forth that might go on for a few days or a few weeks or however long it takes to get the surface fully realized.
Often described as sewn paintings, a Michael James quilt blurs the line between craft and art. Fellow artist Gail Kendall says James moves the quilt from the bed to the wall.
I've been moved by just his imagery, his sense of color, composition, what he says in the work, but I'm also interested in the way he has aligned his process with contemporary technology.
James uses technology to design his fabric. The digital photos of the Korean walkway were manipulated in the computer and then printed.
So I changed the colors, I changed the scale, I distorted, I squeezed. It's another process, it's another tool. It lets me create surfaces that I wouldn't be able to create any other way. But I'm not going to let it print the whole piece. I'll stop.
Students have the opportunity to learn from James in classes and through undergraduate research.
He has been amazing. He always gives his knowledge, so it makes it very easy for me to learn from him, and he gives me tips, and he also gives me critiques.
They benefit by having somebody who is not afraid of technology, who's going to introduce them to the things that are happening now and always moving forward.
James balances his time in the classroom with his duties as chair of the Textiles, Clothing, and Design Department. But the need to produce art always calls him back to the studio.
And I don't have any idea where it will take me in the long term, but it's an adventure, really.